Shri Shri Radha Govinda and Srila Prabhupada welcomes you all for our 18th day Bhagavad Gita Studies course by the grace of Guru and Gauranga. And these courses are offered by ISKCON Mangaluru under the directions of His Grace Namanishta Prabhu. And these courses are based on the teachings of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON. So today we are going to see Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. So the conclusion, Krishna is going to conclude by this chapter, and then Arjuna is going to fight after this. So we'll see how much Krishna is putting his efforts to convince Arjuna. It's not Arjuna's convincing Arjuna, it's about for us. Arjuna is already convinced. He's an eternal servant, but when Arjuna is in our standard, then how Krishna is going to convince him, and we'll see. That's freedom from bondage through karma yoga and the 5 factors of action, the modes controlling all activities and all beings, purification through prescribed duties of Varnashrama, and Brahman platform, confidential knowledge. Today we have a lot of syllabus to cover. So this is the rocket. Where it is going? Anyone can guess where it is going? It's going to Krishna. Haribol. Okay. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnanashalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadambayam Dadati Swapadantikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dhira Bandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachadini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatyaye Shadayini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everyone, all of you. Hare Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Bol. Thank you. So we were seeing this, the 3 stages of realization. That is, first is Brahman realization. That's the Brahman realization means the light emanating from Krishna. That is the energy that's emanating from Krishna. And localized Paramatma. Krishna is personally sitting in each of our heart as Paramatma. He's locally present. Right? And Krishna in the Shama Sundar form, who has a flute, who has more pump, the peacock feather, and all the opulences, the 6 opulences, is Bhagavan Shri Krishna. He's a person. So he is in the Goloka Vrindavan. So happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. That light is Krishna consciousness. Right? Any of these 3, it helps. So let's take our blessings from Shri Shri Radha Govinda and Srila Prabhupada, so we understand Bhagavad Gita in the right spirit. We can apply in the right spirit. Hare Krishna again. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bol. Yes. So, that very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you, because you are my devotee as well as my friend. Therefore, you can understand the transcendental mystery of this science. Soham, you want to read this, Soham?
Yes, Mataji. Arjuna said, Almighty Armed One, I wish to understand the purpose of realization and of the renounced order of life. All killer of Gesi demon Saki. The Supreme Lord said to give up Hishikesha.
Yes.
The Supreme Lord said To give up the results of all activities is called renunciation, tyaga, by the wise, and to give up material activities and doing spiritual activities is called the renounced order of life, sannyasa, by great learned men. Some learned men declare that all kinds of fruitive activities should be given up. But there are yet other sages who maintain that acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance should never be abandoned.
Very bol. So Krishna is telling about two important things. What according to Krishna is tyaga, and what according to Krishna is sannyasa. Tyaga means renunciation. Renunciation means tyaga. That means that we are leaving. We are giving up the fruits of the activities. Now I'm doing an activity, but I'm giving up the fruit. Like I'm doing my job and I'm giving up the salary. It's tyaga, isn't it? Now if I'm doing work and I'm giving up the salary, that's tyaga. Giving up the fruits of the activities, but I'm not stopping my activity. I'm doing my job, but I'm not taking the salary. That's tyaga. Then what is sannyasa? Sannyasa means I'm not even doing the material activity. It's not about no activity. Sannyasa, now we have many sannyasis in our ISKCON, and all over the world. We have many wonderful sannyasis. They're in a very elevated position. Sannyasa is the topmost order. The Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, the Chaturvarnyam, and the Brahmana, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasi. Sannyasi, the fourth one of ashrama. So I told the first four was Varnas, and the second four was ashramas. Varna and ashrama. This whole human society, Krishna divided as Varna and ashrama. Chatur Varna Maya Shishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha. And this division is made by Guna and Karma. It's not that I'm born in a Brahmana family, so I'm a Brahmana. If I'm born in a dog eater family, I'm a dog eater. No. It's about Guna and Karma. If a person by birth, Janmana Jayate Shudra, everyone by birth is a Shudra. And based on the quality that they acquire, based on the quality that they develop throughout the in the period of their life, they'll get into one of those. So based on their guna and karma, one is divided in 4 ashramas and 4 varnas. So sannyasi is the topmost ashrama. So the 4 varnas, as I was telling, first is brahmana, and then kshatriya, and then vaishya, and then shudra. These are the 4 varnas. And the 4 ashramas are brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyasi. Brahmana is a priest, right? We all know Brahmana. And Kshatriya is the one who fights, who is the protector of the citizens. And the Vaishyas are the ones who take care of the cows, protection of the cows, who cultivate land, and who does trading, right? The marketing, the trading. So they are Vaishyas. The fourth one is Shudra, who helps the 3. He's like a job holder. So in Kali Yuga, Kala Shudra Sambhava. In Kali Yuga, most of the people are Shudras. Everyone wants a job. No one wants to no one wants to build a company, isn't it? We all want a job. We just want a job and be there. So that is Shudra. Shudra means one who is under someone, who are working under the instructions of the guidance of someone. The top 3 varnas, they won't work under someone. The Brahmana, he won't work under anyone. He'll completely depend on the Lord. And whatever alms he gets, he will use that. And his only goal is to teach spiritual life, teach Krishna consciousness to the people. That's the real Brahmana means. And the Kshatriyas, they are protecting the people. So they are giving money to the people. It's not that they are taking money from the people. So they also won't take money from the other persons. And Vaishyas, they cultivate their own land, right? So why they have to take money from any other person? So these 3 persons, they're independent. They're self-dependent. They don't depend on any other person. With the Shudra, he depends on the other person. He depends on the above 3 persons because he don't have the higher intelligence to do by his own. So everyone is equally respected. It's not that Shudra is based and Brahmana is the best. It's not like that. Everyone is equally respected. Based on their guna and karma, they have to take up the job. But nowadays, people are hardly knowing what their varna is, what their guna is. So everyone wants to become a doctor. Everyone wants to become an engineer. Yes, agree. We hear that in India, no? Everyone wants to become an engineer. Every parent, if it's a boy, then engineer. If it's a girl, then doctor. What is this? It's not good, right? Because if the child is want to be a singer or a musician or a painter, something, But the parents doesn't want any of this. The parent wants the children to be a doctor or engineer. But nowadays, people are still changing to some extent. But it's not good to emphasize more or force children more if they're not interested in that. Because their guna is not matching to what they're doing. So it affects the child a lot. And the next one is about the ashramas. The four ashramas are Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasi. So Brahmachari is a celibate person. So before till certain age, Gurukul, the children should be sent to Gurukul. He should be under the guidance of the Guru, and the Guru will train him as Brahmachari. And this Brahmachari, he has an option to choose Grihasthashram. Grihasthashram is married life, or he can take sannyas. He can take the renounced order of life. If one takes Grihasthashram means he's getting married and entering into a married life. That is called Grihastha. And when this Grihastha, at the age of 50, he will take Vanaprastha. Vanaprastha means he'll leave home and he'll go to the forest like that. But in this Kali Yuga, we have we don't have that many options to choose to. So if you are doing Vanaprastha, also we can do being at home. That's recommended. So the Grihastha will take up Vanaprastha. So Brahmachari, he's capable enough, then he's called Naishtika Brahmachari, and then he can immediately take sannyas after Brahmacharya. Or he has an option to take from Brahmachari to Grihastha and then Vanaprastha. Like that. Okay? O best of Bharatas, hear from me now about renunciation. That is Tyaga. O tiger among men, there are three kinds of renunciation declared in the scriptures. Acts of charity, acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up, but should be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the great souls. All these activities should be performed without any expectation of result. They should be performed as a matter of duty. O son of Partha, that is my final opinion. Prescribed duties should never be renounced. If by illusion one gives up his prescribed duties, such renunciation is said to be in the mode of ignorance. So now Krishna is talking. Now Krishna will talk about many things in three modes. As I was telling in the yesterday's chapter also, that in the 18th chapter, we'll see many different things that Krishna talks, what people does in the mode of goodness, what people does in the mode of passion, what people does in the mode of ignorance. It's really interesting to see where we are, to mark where we stand in each thing where we stand. It's really good to check. So the best thing is that sacrifice, charity, and penance. Everyone should do. If they're not doing it, then no more than an animal. Actually, if he's a human, then he should follow dharma. If he's following dharma, then only he's called as a human. Or else, what are the four things that are common in animals and human beings? Soham is ready. Vihan will tell today. Vihan, what are the four things that are common in animals and humans?
Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending.
Haribol, yes. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. If you're doing that same thing, then we are no more than an animal. Ahara, nidra, bayamaithanamcha. Then if they're doing that, then that's a common between animals and humans, right? Ahara, nidra, bayamaithanamcha. Ahara, nidra, eating, sleeping. Ahara, nidra, baya, fearing or defending. Maithanam, that is mating. So these four things are common between animals and humans. If you're doing the same thing as an animal, then we're no better than an animal. So dharma should be if he's a human, should follow dharma. So what is that? Sacrifice, charity, and penance. These three are very important. That purifies even the great soul. Even if one thinks that I'm a great soul, still he has to do this. That purifies him, right? So now we'll see in the mode of passion and goodness, how it is about renunciation. Now we saw in the mode of ignorance. The person in the mode of ignorance, what he does, he won't do activity only. Renunciation means he should give up the fruits. He will give up the work only. The person who is in the mode of ignorance, he won't work also. That's his position. And a person in the mode of passion, anyone who gives up prescribed duties, as troublesome or out of fear, it is said to be in the mode of passion. Such action never leads to the elevation of renunciation. But he who performs his prescribed duty only, it ought to be done, and renounces all attachment to the fruit, his renunciation is in the mode of goodness, O Arjuna. Those who are situated in the mode of goodness, who neither hate inauspicious work nor are attached to auspicious work, have no doubts about work. It is indeed impossible for an embodied being to give up all activities. Therefore, it is said that he who renounces the fruits of action are one who have truly renounced. So I told the person who is in the mode of ignorance how he renounced things. He will renounce. Renounce means tyaga. Did everyone catch that, right? Renunciation means giving up the activity, not giving up the activity, giving up the result of the activity, right? Everyone catch it? Renunciation means giving up the result of an activity. I'm working and I'm doing a job, I'm not taking salary. That is renunciation, right? So if a person who is in the mode of ignorance, he won't work only. He's not bothered about the result. He won't do the job only. But if a person who is in the passion, if the work is so difficult, then he won't do. But if it's easy, if it's comfortable, then he will do. So he is changing according to the difficulty of the job. Then he's in the mode of passion. If you are doing in that way, then we are in the mode of passion. And if a person who is in the mode of goodness, then come what may. If it is so difficult for him to do, if it's not very difficult for him to do, but still he does. He'll be equal in all circumstances. How can one be equal in all circumstances when we like the job? If we don't like the job, we won't like to do it. So we should look for a job or anything that we like to study. We should look for something that we like to do it. Or else it becomes burdensome and we will be more focused on the result rather than the work. But our focus should be more on the work rather than the result. Whatever the result will be, we should be satisfied with the work. We should be satisfied with what we are doing, right? So that is what Krishna is telling Arjuna also in this. Krishna is telling to do his duty. Come what may. Arjuna is telling he's getting pain now, right? Arjuna is getting pain that he's going to kill his own teacher, grandfather, and cousins. So Arjuna is telling Krishna, I don't want to fight. But Krishna is telling it's your duty to fight as a Kshatriya, Arjuna, because he has to protect the citizens, right? So that's the point. So this is all about renunciation. Priya Mataji, you want to read this?
Okay. Yeah. Hare Krishna. For
Hare
one who is
Krishna.
renounced the threefold fruits of action, desirable, undesirable, and mixed, accrue after death. But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such results to suffer or enjoy. O mighty armed Arjuna, learn from me of the five factors which bring about the accomplishment of all action. These are declared in Sankhya philosophy to be the place of action, the performer, the senses, the endeavor, and ultimately the supersoul. Whatever right or wrong action a man performs by body, mind, or speech is caused by these five factors.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. So in the last thing that we were saying, why Krishna is telling Arjuna to do his duty? Because if he does his duty, then he will be elevated. His consciousness will be elevated. Now we got to the human platform because our consciousness is evolved. Now the dog cannot sit in the Bhagavatam class or Bhagavad Gita class, right? Or cat or any animal, it cannot sit in the class because its consciousness is lower. But the human consciousness is much, much higher. So if we in the human also, how many types, how many species of humans are? Does anyone remember the number? I was telling in the first 5 classes I was telling how many species of humans are there? Does anyone remember? How many species of aquatics were there? Does anyone remember? For the I was telling that both. Forgot. It's gone. So, Jalaja Navalakshani, 9 lakh aquatics are there, and 4 lakh human species are there. 4 lakhs of human species. So it's not now the consciousness or the elevation. It's still the 4 lakhs, right? 4 lakh species are there. So if someone is not taking Krishna consciousness, and many people, people will be in the mode of ignorance or passion or goodness or in the pure goodness, Shuddha Tattva. They can be in any of those 4 things. So it depends. So because there are 4 lakhs human species, right? So in these 4 lakh human species, coming to the mode of goodness is very good. It's actually very good. Sattva guna is very good. And coming above the modes, coming above the three modes, that is Krishna consciousness. That is above the three modes. It's not touched with three modes because we are connecting directly to Krishna. Krishna is completely spiritual. So when we are doing something spiritual, then that becomes spiritual. Just by touching. Now the iron, when it touches fire, it also gets the properties of that iron. Sorry, the fire, right? It also burns. When we touch the iron, when it's kept near the fire, it burns or not. So it's similar with the spirituality. If you're touching something spiritual, then the activity itself becomes spiritualized. So what, even though it's material thing, even though the iron is not, it cannot have the property of heat, but because it's been placed beside the fire, it's getting that property. So it's not our thing. It's about the greatness of fire, the greatness of spirituality, the greatness of Krishna. So the point that I'm trying to tell is, if one does dharma, if one in the mode of goodness, he's bearing both happiness and distress, then what happens? He becomes purified, and he will elevate himself to the level of soul. He can elevate himself to the level of soul and the servant of Krishna. That elevation what Krishna wants from Arjuna, from all of us. Krishna wants only that. The whole point is that. The whole point is that we should realize that we are the servant of Krishna. That's the whole point. So this is very important thing. So any action that we are doing, okay, I'm writing an exam. Now why I'm not getting first rank? I studied as much as the person who got the first rank, and I studied the same thing, but I didn't get the first rank. So based on 5 things, our result is dependent on. It's not only us. It's not only me, how much I'm studying that dictates the result. No, there are 5 things that dictates our result. The first thing is the place of action. Now, if I'm teaching, I need a laptop or I need Zoom, right? So this is the place of action. Or the body. I need body to talk, right? So this is the place of action. And the performer is the person. There should be someone who is ready to speak, right? There should be a teacher, there should be students, there should be a performer. Listening is also performance. Speaking is also performance. All these are different performances. So place of action, the performer, and the senses, and the endeavor. Endeavor means putting some effort. This is where people struggle so much, because I'm putting all my endeavor to get the result, but still I'm not getting the result. That's the complaint for many people, isn't it? Most of the people think I'm trying my best to do what I can, but still I'm not getting the result. Because it's not only dependent on that, on the endeavor of the person. Now, if you're going to an exam hall and there is some disturbance in the exam hall, if the invigilator is talking on the phone when you're writing an exam, and if invigilator is disturbing you, or he's chatting with the other person, if something that's doing, then there is a problem with the place of action, right? Where we went to do an action, that's the problem. If I am as a performer, if I didn't study well, then I cannot reproduce in the exam. I cannot put my answer in the exam. And then what? And the senses, we should remember, right? Whatever we studied, the mind should help us to remember what we studied, right? If that's not happening, then then there is a problem. And the endeavor, if you're not practiced enough, if you're not revised enough, then we will not able to put all the answers right in the test. And ultimately, if you do everything right, if the place is right, the performer is right, the senses are right, the endeavor is right, but ultimately if our karma is not there, then Supreme Lord will not sanction. The super soul will not sanction it. If someone who has that more karma to get that first rank, then he'll get the first rank. And he'll be getting second rank or third rank or fourth rank. So ultimately it's a super soul. Everything is under the control of the super soul. So ultimately, but whatever is there in our hands, we should do it. The 4 things: the place of action, the performer. Now, when we are going to an exam hall, we should take our pencil, pen, or something. We should carry it with us. We should not go. Some miracle will happen at that time. No miracle will happen. All these 4 things we should only do. Ultimately, whatever Krishna will give, we have to take it, and that's the best. It's not that Krishna is having some grudge on some person, so he's not giving him, and Krishna is so kind to some other person, so he's giving him. No, Krishna is samas sarveshu bhuteshu. Krishna is equal with everyone. According to your past karma, according to your present karma, he'll tally everything. Paramatma, he'll tally everything, whatever you have, and then he'll give you the result. So these are the 5 things. It's not about only your endeavor or you. There is super soul who is sanctioning everything. If unless and until he sanctions, things will not work. So he is the ultimate sanctioner. If he sanctions, then that's final. If we also see some people who didn't study much as much as we did, but they get a good score, and we wonder how they are getting it. It's because of their karma. That if they have good karma, whatever the 10 questions that they read in that 90 questions, only the 10 questions came in the exam, isn't it? Then that's completely their karma that they got that. And any situation in life, it's all about our karma. Every person who got what they got because they earned it. It's not that they got some randomly or luckily or accidentally. Nothing happens accidentally. This world didn't come accidentally. We all didn't come accidentally. We are all there in where we are. It's not accidental. Everything came by perfect arrangement, by the perfect arrangement. Nothing is accidental, right? Who can read this? We have a lot to cover today. We need to go a little quick. Udyat, you want to read this, Udyat?
Yes, Mataji. One who is not motivated by false ego, whose intelligence is not entangled, though he kills men in this world, is not the slayer, nor is he bound by his actions. Knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower are the three factors which motivate action. The senses, the work, and the doer comprise the threefold basis of action. In accordance with the three modes of material nature, there are three kinds of knowledge: action and performers of action. Listen as I describe them.
Yeah, thank you, Udyat. So, Krishna is telling one who is not motivated with a false ego. Now, what is this false ego? False ego means ego. We all have ego. Every Jivatma has ego. The ego should be that I'm servant of Krishna. I'm soul. That is the true ego. But the Jivatma, what it is falsely thinking that I'm this body. So it's told that it has false ego. It has false ego that I am this body. If someone says anything, oh, how can you tell? How dare you can tell to me this? Who you think you are? This is Bhakti Vignan Goswami Maharaj says. I love the way that he tells this. Most of the person, if we try to preach them, then they think that who you think you are. That's the general mentality of person. There's some random person. They don't like to hear the things because they think who you think you are. So that's not very good. That's not very appreciated. We cannot understand things if we have that mentality. And the knowledge, object of knowledge. I don't know if you know these technical terms. We read this in the 13th chapter. Gnanam, Gneyam, Kshetra, Kshetragna, all those. Gnanam is knowledge. Object of knowledge is Krishna, that is Gneyam. And the knower is soul, that is Kshetragna. So knowledge, object of knowledge, and knower. These are the three things. With these three things only any action is performed. First, we should have gnana. Now we should if I have to go and pluck a mango, then what? I should know what mango is. I should know what walking is. I should know what plucking is. I should know where the garden is. I should know what garden is. So all this is gnana, isn't it? Is it making sense? Gnana means now if I have to go and pluck a mango, then I should know what first mango is, and I should know what plucking is. I should know how to walk there, what walking is, and how to walk there. And if I know all this, I should know where the place is, and I should know where to collect it. And all these things are gnana. And if we have gnana, then the object of knowledge is Krishna. If Krishna sanctions only, I can go. Many devotees we might have heard, they'll say Krishna's willing. If Krishna's willing is there, then I'll come. So ultimately, Krishna is a sanction. If he doesn't want us to go anywhere, then we cannot go. We cannot go. And the knower is me. I should know that this is mango. This is called plucking. This is called walking. This is how I can walk there. This is the garden. So I should know all this. So I should be there. Krishna should be there. And the knowledge should be there. Then only I can do action. So, and that is senses, work, and the doer. Comprises of the threefold basis of action. It's the same thing. And in accordance with the three modes of material nature, three kinds of knowledge, action, and performance action. Listen as I describe them. Krishna gives so much knowledge here. So now we are going to see three kinds of knowledge. Now Krishna told, right? Knowledge, action, and performers of action. These three things. Now Krishna is going to talk about the knowledge in three modes, action in three modes, and the performer of action in three modes. Okay? just try to be little attentive because it's easy. It's easy, but it's just a lot of information. That's it. This we know. Knowledge is in the mode of goodness, in the mode of passion, and the mode of ignorance. These three things we know. Right? Tanya, you want to read this, Tanya?
Kinds of knowledge based on modes of material nature. That knowledge by which one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all existence, dividing the in the divided, undivided in the divided, is knowledge in the mode of goodness. That knowledge by which a different type of living entity is seen to be dwelling in different bodies is knowledge in the mode of passion, and that knowledge by which one is attached to one kind of work as the all in all without knowledge of the truth, and which is very meager, is said to be in the mode of darkness.
Yeah. Thank you, Tanya. So first one is in the mode of goodness. That is Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Kavi Hastini Suni Chaiva Swapakesha Pandita Samadarshinaha. So Krishna says, who is Pandita Samadarshinaha? He is a person who is in the mode of goodness. He sees every living entity as a part and parcel of Krishna. He sees Paramatma in every living entity, and he sees every living entity as a spiritual spark that's part and parcel of Krishna. But a person who is in the mode of passion, then he see animals differently, humans differently, insects differently, cats and dogs differently, aquatics differently. So the he judge a personality based on his body, and then and the person who is in the darkness, he hardly bother about any of those things. He's far away from the truth. He's very meager. So he's actually in the mode of darkness. He's completely attached to the work only. He's not even bothering about the humans or any bodies, any living things. Okay. Now we are seeing actions in three modes, right? Before we saw knowledge in three modes. Now we are seeing action in three modes. Vihan, you can read this.
Yes, Mataji. As for actions, the action in a coordination with duty which is performed without attachment, without love or hate by one who has renounced fruitive results is called action in the mode of goodness. But action performed with great effort by one seeking to gratify his desires, by which one is attracted from a sense of false ego, is called action in the mode of passion. And that action performed in ignorance and delusion without consideration of future bondage or consequences, which inflicts injury and is impactful, is said to be action in the mode of ignorance.
Very good. So action in three modes. So in the mode of goodness, such person they do action as a duty. So, as it's telling without love or hate. It doesn't matter whether they like that thing or not. First thing is they choose what they like, which work they like. And in that work, even it's difficult for him, even it's some persons who are doing editing. It's so difficult to do editing, right? Who is anyone an editor in the class? They can edit things well. Is anyone there in the class who can edit things well? It's a pretty difficult job, right? So, if such person, if it's even very difficult for him, he does it because he likes it. So he doesn't have any hate or love for it. He'll do it because he has to do it. So that's a person who is in the mode of goodness. And the mode of passion, he does because he has to show off. Like he has to gratify his desires and he has a sense of false ego. If a person gives charity of 25 lakhs, suppose the person is giving charity of 25 lakhs, and this person is so puffed up that he thinks that he's nothing in front of me. So he'll give 30 lakhs. Why he's giving 30 lakhs? He's giving 30 lakhs to show off, to show that he's greater. A sense of false pride, false prestige, false ego, and to gratify his senses. Because the mind will be satisfied, the intelligence will be satisfied. Oh, I'm greater. So that's where he's giving. So it's just a waste of time. It's not at all good. That should not be the mood. We should be more concerned about the people. Now many people will take selfies with when he's giving something for the poor. So that is also self gratification. He's trying to show off that he's such a mahan person that he's doing all this. And the third one, he hardly bothers about this He's completely in delusion, and he's impractical. He doesn't bother about societal status or societal what people will think. He's more focused on his sense gratification. Even though if people are dying, see, we seeing many children abandoning parents because that's the mentality of a person. He hardly bothers. He just have to satisfy his senses. He hardly bothers about the prestige, about the name, fame. Those things also people are not bothering nowadays. That's in the mood of ignorance. Okay. So now the kinds of worker. That's a performer of action, right? So that's worker. So we are seeing the performer of action based on the three modes of material nature. Priya Mataji, you want to take up?
Okay. Okay. Three kinds of worker based on the modes of material nature. The worker who is free from all material attachments and false ego, who is enthusiastic and resolute, and who is indifferent to success or failure, is a worker in the mode of goodness. But that worker who is attached to the fruits of his labor and who passionately wants to enjoy them, who is greedy, envious, and impure, and moved by happiness and distress, is a worker in the mode of passion. And the worker who is always engaged in work against the injection of the scripture, who is materialistic, obstinate, cheating, and expert in insulting others, who is lazy, always morose, and procrastinating, is a worker in the mode of ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So for goodness, it's the same thing again and again. He'll be enthusiastic, he'll be resolute, he'll not have false ego, he'll be equal in both in the success and failure. If he gets good success, then he won't feel super happy, and if he got any failure, then he won't be super sad. He'll be normal. He'll be summer. He'll be equal in both circumstances. He can bear both of them. So person who is in the mode of passion, this we see more in many people, right? They'll be very passionate that they need to achieve it. People will tell, achieve it, set a goal, work for it, achieve it. All these motivational speakers, they are in the mode of passion. They try to push people like this. But but they're envious. You can do the best, you can get the best. And nothing in the material world, there is nothing called best. Nothing is best. If we are not connecting it to Krishna, then that's just waste of time. But people are so much in bodily consciousness. Why? For what they are doing all those? No use. Greedy, envious, impure, unmoved, unmoved by the happiness and distress. And they'll collapse. If you see persons, if some negativity happens, they just collapse. Because they're so much attached to the fruit. So, but the person who is in the mode of goodness, he won't be attached to the fruit. And the person in the mode of ignorance, they want the fruit, so they do by any means. This passionate person, they'll work hard at least. They'll work hard day and night, like ass, trying so much to get what the little thing that they can achieve, they can get. But this person in the mode of ignorance, he's very morose, he's very lazy, he's expert in insulting people. He'll cheat. He has this cheating tendency, obstinate, and he procrastinate things. So he's a worker in the mode of ignorance. See this person here. He's a Brahmana. He reads sattvic food. He will just give spiritual knowledge. This is how the person in the mode of goodness. See this person in the mode of passion, eating spicy food, wanting for many things. And this person in the ignorance, eating non-veg, drinking, and lazy, morose. This is how the person will be. So this was Srila Prabhupada's daily schedule. Can anyone read? I will read this. I want to take the advantage for this. Srila Prabhupada, he used to rise in the middle of the night to translate Srimad Bhagavatam. You know when this diary is when Srila Prabhupada, at the final year, Srila Prabhupada, he left this world in 1977, November 14th. So in 1977, this was the schedule, right? The last year of Srila Prabhupada, maybe he's in his 80s, I think. 87, I guess. I'm not very sure. He's in his 80s for sure. Yeah. I think 84 or 85. 85, I guess. Okay. Right. He used to rise in the middle of night to translate Bhagavatam. So all the books that we are now, whatever we are seeing, it's all the purpose of Srila Prabhupada, right? He wrote purport for each and every verse, for Srimad Bhagavad Gita, for Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. He's 70 volumes of books. that he wrote in the span of 11 years with establishing 108 temples all around the world. Can any normal person do that? That's the power of a devotee. That's the power, that's the potency of a devotee. Krishna will empower a devotee in such a way that they will do things which is unimaginable to anyone to even think. Forget about doing it. Thinking is only unimaginable. He went to the West at the age of 69. So he was almost at his 70s when he went to the West, and in just 11 years of span, he traveled around the world 108 times. Not 14 times, sorry. He traveled around the world 14 times and he established 108 temples and he wrote 70 volumes of books and so many disciples, thousands and thousands of disciples. And they dedicated their life completely. It's not like working and doing some this thing. No, completely they were staying in the temples. All the people. Here in the Kansas City, when I go to the temple, I really feel surprised how these devotees are doing all these things. They're really a kind of it's really motivating to see them. It changed a lot. It changed me a lot. Just by seeing them, we change a lot. Because devotees are very special and they're very dear to Krishna. So he used to rise in the middle of night to translate Srimad Bhagavatam for all of us. He's not doing his by translating Bhagavatam. He know Bhagavatam very well, but he's doing what he's doing for all of us, for all the future generations. So we are the grand disciples of Srila Prabhupada. And then he used to, in the morning from 5 to 10, he used to absorb in Kirtan, and then morning massage and bathing. And he used to hear the reports of ISKCON activities and correct and inspire his leaders and receive gifts and preach to them. And evening from 3 to 9, he's absorbed in Kirtan again. And then he was not eating anything and he was not sleeping also. That was his schedule. So it's even unthinkable for a person, for a materialistic person, of how it will be. Actually, doctors, when they used to come to see Srila Prabhupada, because his bones were only there. Flesh was also not much. So the doctors used to fear to hold his hand also. What if it gets broken? It was like that. And in that situation also, in the midnight, he's waking up and he's translating with the dictaphone. So the devotees will keep the dictaphone near him and he's chanting. So he will be telling the we should try to hear Srila Prabhupada's how Prabhupada speaks, what Prabhupada speaks. It purifies us a lot because he's a pure devotee of Krishna. His Vani is so powerful. We should now if we are hearing Srila Prabhupada also, it's actually service to Srila Prabhupada. They are doing Vani Seva. That's very important. Always serving the pure devotees, it's very important for our spiritual progress. Right, 3 kinds of determination on the basis of modes of material nature. Now we are going to see 3 kinds of determination, right? Soham, you want to take this up?
Okay. 3 kinds of determination based on the modes of material nature. O son of Brahma, that determination which is unbreakable, which is sustained with steadfastness by yoga practice, and that thus controls the mind, life, and the acts of the senses, is in the mode of goodness. And that determination by which one holds fast to fruit of results in religion, economic development, and sense gratification is of the nature of passion. O Arjuna, and that determination we cannot go beyond dreaming, fearfulness, lamentation, remorseness, and illusion. Such unintelligent determination is in the mode of darkness.
Thank you, Soham. So Krishna is telling about the determination which is unbreakable. I said there are two things about the intelligence, right? For the mind, it is sankalpa, vikalpa. I like, I don't like. Only this mind knows. If mind sees rasgulla, it says I like rasgulla. If he sees the cabbage, the coal crops, then I don't like. And does anyone like cabbage and cauliflower here? Am I offending someone? And if it is what bitter gourd, does anyone like bitter gourd here? Then mind will say I don't like bitter gourd. If there is rasgulla, there is gulab jam, then mind will say I like rasgulla, I like gulab jam. All this I like, I don't like. All this is told by the mind. So this is the mind's two functions: sankalpa, vikalpa. It likes and it doesn't like. What are the two things for intelligence? Does anyone remember? I said I'll ask also in the next class that day. Maybe Tanya might have remembered. Tanya, what are the two things of intelligence? Two two characteristics of intelligence? Uh, you want to guess something? Is Vihan ready?
I forgot.
You forgot. I see. Udyan, do you remember?
I also forgot.
Tanya, you're telling something?
It's
Guess it. Try something.
intelligence.
Intelligence only. Intelligence has two characteristics. What are the two
Yeah,
characteristics of intelligence?
mind.
Mind has two characteristics that I already told, right? Mind is sankalpa and vikalpa, like and dislike. It just does that. But the intelligence has two characteristics. What are the two characteristics? Priya Mataji, you remember?
No.
Uh, I don't know where I told that. I think in the 14th chapter, I guess. For intelligence, it's discrimination and determination. These are the two things that intelligence does. Now the mind says, "I like this." Then the intelligence will discriminate. When it says, "Oh, ice cream is such a," if the mind says, "I like ice cream," then intelligence will take over the next thing. Then it will say, "Yeah, ice cream is nice. Eating ice cream in this hot summer day, it's wonderful. Go and have an ice cream." It gives all these stories. Then when we see the bitter gourd, we'll say, "I don't like bitter gourd." Yes, bitter gourd is not, it's bitter. It's not very good now. Try to do some alternative. The intelligence will help the mind to check what's alternative. But it should be the opposite. The intelligence is higher than the mind. So whatever the intelligence says, then the mind should hear. Now, when the mind says, "I like ice cream," then intelligence should stop that if that's not good. "Oh, this is not good. This will cause throat pain. You cannot sing properly," for the singers. So the intelligence has to stop the mind. So intelligence has two things. It can discriminate which is good, which is bad, what is good, what is bad. And if you have now, why we are reading all these scriptures? Mind is a monkey mind. It just jumps from one tree to other tree to other tree, from one desire to other desire to other desire. The intelligence will check it. Because we are reading Bhagavad Gita, we are improving our intelligence. We are able to discriminate. Now, after Bhagavad Gita, we'll see things. Oh, whether this is in the mode of goodness, whether this is in the mode of passion, whether this is in the mode of ignorance. We try to differentiate things with our intelligence. This is called discrimination. This is one thing. Discrimination and determination. After discrimination, again mind will say, "It's okay, only one ice cream." then if you are determined, if the intelligence is determined, then it will stop. No. No means no. You should not eat it. Right? So after discriminating, it should be able to be determined to do it. If someone, "Oh, I should get," now when we see people all getting prizes on the school annual function, then we'll think, "I should also work hard and get a prize in the next annual function." That force will be there only that day. Then after 1 week, "Oh, it's okay." And after 1 month, we'll forget about that. And next year again, when people are taking prizes, then we'll remember, "Oh, I should also work hard to get there." Isn't it? That generally happens. I hear this from my nephew kids, not my mother's sister's kids a lot. They say, "No, I will try our best next time." That's how they do. So these are the two characteristics of intelligence. What are they? Discrimination and determination. Right? You won't forget again, right? So for the mind, it's sankalpa and vikalpa. I like, I don't like. This is what mind does. For intelligence, this discrimination and determination. That's the nature of intelligence. And intelligence is superior to the mind. Whatever intelligence will say, the mind has to hear it. When the mind says, "I like it," but intelligence can check it. Intelligence have that capacity to stop the mind. You can check it. You can try it out. It works because that's science. It's not some mundane speculation. Hmm. This is three kinds of happiness. This is very easy. In this we already discussed. If a person who is in the mode of goodness, for him, any activity in the mode of goodness, initially it's little painful, but the end it's like nectar. That's goodness. Now we are studying so much. It feels really hard to study. Oh, it's a lot to study. I don't want to study, but I'm forced to study. We feel all this. But at the end result, when we get good marks, then we get a prize. When we are going on to the floor, onto the stage to get a shield, it feels really happy, right? Isn't it? It feels really happy. So that's the mode of goodness. So then the mode of passion is when we go for a film. When we are wasting time, now we have an exam tomorrow, and today we went to a film, and we are sitting there. Oh, it was very exciting to see the film. At the end of the film, you have 10 chapters that you need to see. You didn't saw it till now, and you have to go and see that. So how horrible it is. So initially it may be very, very, very exciting, very happy, very pleasing, but at the end result is painful because you have to take the repercussion. You have to work on the other things after that. And the mode of ignorance, while doing it's painful, after doing also it's painful. While doing also it's painful. Like taking drugs. Taking drugs is not that easy. Smoking also, it's so difficult to smoke. I feel with all the smoke around. While doing also it's not good. And after doing also it's not very healthy. And drugs also, they'll inject drugs. They do many things. People does many crazy things. So that's painful while doing also. And the result is also painful. See the poison? So that's poison. I mean, while doing it's poison, after doing also it's poison. So this I already told about four varnas and four ashramas. Here the four ashramas are four varnas are given. That is Brahmana, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. And the Brahmana's work is actually these are varnas. I think there is a mistake here. I should write it. I should change it. These are varnas. These are not ashramas. Ashramas are Grihasthashram, Brahmachari, Vanaprasthashram, Sannyasi. So they are ashramas. These are the varnas. So a person who is a Brahmana, then what are his qualities? He'll be peaceful, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, wisdom, and knowledge and religiousness. If one wants to be a Brahmana, then he has to cultivate all these qualities. And if you do Krishna consciousness, all these qualities will come automatically. That's the beauty of Krishna consciousness. Just by chanting Krishna's nama, just by taking Krishna's name, everything, whatever the Hridayam Tostohya Bhadrani. It's not some story. It's there in Srimad Bhagavatam. Shunvata Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayam Tostohya Bhadrani Vidunoti Sukrit Satam Shunvata Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. When we hear Shri Krishna Katha, whether it's Sri Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, then what happens? Hridayantostokya Bhadrani, whatever the impurities, whatever the impurities are there in the heart, that becomes cleansed. Hridayantostokya Bhadrani Vidunoti Sukrit Satam. Auspiciousness arises. The auspiciousness will come by doing this. Right? And the person who is a Kshatriya, then he'll have heroism, power, because he's a protector. He should protect his citizens, he should protect his subjects. Resourcefulness, courage in the battle, generosity, and leadership, the qualities of work are for the Kshatriyas. And for the Vaishyas, as I told, farming, cattle raising, and business. These are the qualities for the Vaishyas. And for Shudras, it's labor. He has to work under any of these three persons. Right? Who can read this? Tanya, you want to read this?
Engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly.
Yeah.
Then to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Prescribe duties according to one's nature and never affected by sinful reactions. Every endeavor is covered by some sort of fault, just as fire is covered by smoke. Therefore, one should not give up the work which is born of his nature. O son of Kunti, even if such work is full of fault, one can obtain the results of renunciation simply by self-control and becoming unattached to material things and disregarding this material enjoyments. This is the highest perfectional stage of renunciation.
Yeah, pronunciation. Thank you, Tanya. So I just need 10 more minutes because it's a long chapter. I'm trying to finish as much as I can, but all it's time. I'm so sorry. Just 10 more minutes because this is very important to understand also. I can't go. I cannot just go like that. I need to know that you guys got it. So I'm so sorry. So this is what Krishna is telling is if a person is a Brahmana, if a person is a teacher, Brahmana means he's a teacher. If a person is a Brahmana, then he should do his qualities. If he's not teaching properly, also he should be Brahmana only. Should not go to Shudra. Should not, if a Brahmana, he can go to Kshatriya also. Dronacharya, he's a Brahmana, right? But he's in the battlefield. Now he's doing duty of a Kshatriya. So if a Brahmana can go to Kshatriya and Vaishya, still it's considerable, but he can never fall to Shudra. Then we say that the Brahmana is fallen. He fallen down. So if we are if we have the qualities of a Brahmana, we should take up something that suits our quality. So if I'm a Brahmana and if I'm taking up Kshatriya duty, is it possible? Can I protect my subjects? It's not possible. So it's better to do our duty. If it's not, if I'm not a very good Brahmana, if I don't know many shlokas, if I'm not very good at most of the shastric things, but still, if you have those qualities of a Brahmana, you have to be a Brahmana. Even though you're not doing it properly, still you have to be there. Because if you're just doing what you're doing, you'll not incur sin. That's the main thing. If I'm a Brahmana, I have the qualities of a Brahmana, and if I'm doing a job like Shudra, then that becomes that you're not doing your duty. You're doing someone else's duty. That's someone else's thing. But that's someone else's occupation, and you're doing that occupation. Then you're incurring sin. This is the thing that Krishna is trying to tell Arjuna all the time. That Arjuna, you're a Kshatriya. Now Arjuna is telling Krishna, I'll leave everything, I'll go to the forest, I'll meditate, let people think whatever they want to think. I don't want to kill my cousins, Krishna. But now what Arjuna is doing, he's leaving his Kshatriya duty and he's going and doing a Brahmana duty. Now what Krishna is telling, you cannot do that. When you go to forest also, you will again you'll again take the knife or something to fight with the ants and animals in the forest. Because his nature is Kshatriya nature. Wherever he goes, he'll show that nature, that heroism, that courage, that protection. He shows that. The determination, all those things. Wherever he goes, he'll show that. That's why Krishna is telling Arjuna, even though if you lose the battle, still you have to fight. That's what Krishna is telling. Even though if you do your occupation not incorrectly, imperfectly, still you have to do your occupation. You should not go and do some other's occupation. This is also very important. If one does their own occupation, then they won't incur sin for that. Now Krishna is going to talk about who can be above these three modes. Still now Krishna spoke a lot about the three modes. Now Krishna is going to talk about a person who is above the three modes. So, O son of Kunti, learn from me in brief how one can attain to the supreme perfectional stage Brahman. By acting in this way, which I shall now summarize. Brahmabhuta prasannatma na sochati na kakshati samat sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim lavate param. So this Krishna says, who is Brahmabhuta prasannatma? If who is a Brahman realized, he'll be prasannatma. He'll be very happy. He'll be blissful. Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma Nasochati na Kangshati. He won't be desiring anything. Nasochati na Kangshati. Samas Sarveshu Bhuteshu. He'll see all the living entities on the same level because he sees Paramatma in every living entity. Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. So he can get that can be that one can achieve that Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. By doing my bhakti, they can get that. So Krishna is telling everything in the Bhagavad Gita. You should just open it and read it. Right? Being purified by his intelligence and controlling the mind with determination, giving up the objects of sense gratification, being freed from attachment and hatred, one who lives in a secluded place, who eats little and who controls the body and the tongue, and is always in trance and is detached, who is without false ego, false strength, false pride, lust, anger, and who does not accept material things, such a person is certainly elevated to the position of self-realization. One who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes the Brahman. He never laments, nor desires to have anything. He is equally disposed to every living entity, and in that state, he attains the pure devotional service. So in that stage, one attains the pure devotional service. Though engaged in all kinds of activities, my devotee under my protection reaches the eternal and imperishable abode by my grace. In all activities, just depend upon me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. If you do not act according to my direction and do not fight, then you will be falsely directed. Falsely directed. By your nature, you will have to be engaged in the market. So Krishna is telling the same thing to Arjuna. Krishna is telling Arjuna, Arjuna, you're a Kshatriya Arjuna, you have to fight. Even though your nature is you have to be engaged in a warfare. So if you just listen to me, if your consciousness is towards me, then you can cross these obstacles of life very easily. What I was telling, like if we hold the lotus feet of Krishna, what the samsara sagara will become, how will it become? Priya Mataji knows this. What will become the size of the samsara when we take the lotus feet of Krishna, when we hold the lotus feet of Krishna? It just becomes the size of
Foot of calf, feet of calf.
yes. Thank you, Mataji. Calf's hoof print. So it just the whole samsara becomes a calf's hoof print. It just becomes the size of calf's hoof print. You can just jump over it. Because Krishna is a controller of Maya. Krishna has created all this material and spiritual worlds. Krishna is the Sarva Karana Karanam. Right? So the Supreme Lord, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hriddeshe Arjuna Tishtati. Krishna is sitting in all the living entities. And Brahma Yamsa Sarva Bhutani Yantra Rudani Maya. And by the modes of material nature, the super soul, then who is taking the soul from one body to other body? Krishna is telling, I am taking the soul. I am taking this poor Jivatma from one body to other body according to its desires. Whatever the Jivatma wants, then Krishna is taking that Jivatma from one body to the other body. Right? Vihan, can you read this? Are you sleepy? I'm so sorry. We just have some, we just need some time.
I'm fine.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you.
Ocean, you're welcome, Mataji. Ocean of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace, you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode. Thus, I have explained to you the most confidential of all knowledge. Deliberate on this fully, and then do what you wish to do. Because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you the most confidential part of knowledge. Hear this from me, for it is your benefit.
Yeah. So Krishna is going to tell the most confidential knowledge. Get ready. We already saw this, but again, Krishna is telling this. Always think of me and become my devotee. Worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus, you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my dear friend. So Krishna is telling, Manmana bhava madbhakto, majjajimam namaskuru, mammeva, ma, satyam te, I guess, for this verse. Satyam te, priyosime. You are my devotee, you are my friend. So please listen to me. What do you have to do? Manmana bhava madbhakto, manmana, think of me, always think of me. Madbhakto, become my devotee. Majjaji, offer his homage unto me. Namaskuru, do obeisance unto me. We saw right yesterday Dandavat Pranam for the men and the Panchanga Pranam for the women. Do that. Just offer obeisance unto me. And by that, you can come to me without fail. And because why Krishna is telling all this? Because you are my dear friend. Krishna is Sukrudam Sarvabhutanam, right? Krishna is our ever well wisher. So this is one of the ultimate verse. Actually, this verse Krishna told 2 times. We got this in the 9th chapter also, and we're getting the same shloka in the 18th chapter also. No shloka Krishna repeated 2 times. Only this shloka Krishna repeated 2 times. Wherever we are, whatever we are doing, just if we do this, then we become dear to Krishna. That's the only thing. That's the only. If we have to come out of this Maya, we cannot come out with our endeavor. We should hold Krishna's lotus feet very tightly. That's what Krishna is telling. Because Krishna is above the 3 modes. That's the whole thing. That's the whole essence of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Right? Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarvatapebhyo mokshayishyami masuchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender all to me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. See, who can give this guarantee? No one can give this guarantee like Krishna is giving. Krishna is telling, abandon all the religions, just surrender on to me. Surrendering to Krishna is the only thing that we need to practice. It's not that easy to surrender to Krishna because we are seeing many things in around the world and we don't know Krishna. We didn't see Krishna anytime. But we should, when we start doing Krishna consciousness, when we start practicing Krishna consciousness, we'll build the faith. We'll build the faith every day, each single day. What we are doing, we just building the faith. I'm not preaching to you all. I'm preaching to myself. I'm telling all these things to myself because it should go to me also. It's for me also. Every devotee who is teaching, actually, he's teaching to himself, right? Because he should also get that faith in Krishna that Krishna will protect. Krishna is there to protect. See this Gajendra. I can't ask you all. Okay, I told the answer. But he's Gajendra, right? You all remember the story? How Gajendra, he was there 1000 years in this water, struggling, calling his she elephants, calling his relatives, everyone to help. No one were there to help him. No one can help also. What is their capacity? They're also like us. They're also that small Jivatma. They cannot do much. When he started prayers and he just offered a flower to Vishnu and Vishnu is coming running. See, Garuda is struggling to keep up with Vishnu because Vishnu is pure of the pure devotees. When actually it's told that Vishnu came before Garuda and then I think it's in a different episode, not in this episode, but here also Garuda is struggling to keep up with Vishnu. What is the capacity of an elephant, right? What is an elephant? It just surrendered. Krishna doesn't see how rich we are, how intelligent we are, how knowledgeable we are, how beautiful we are. All these things Krishna have million times more, millions, not trillion times more. We are nothing in front of Krishna at any of these things. Krishna is having six opulences in totality. But Krishna is seeing how much devotion we have, how much surrender we develop. Now when Gajendra, when he offered a flower to Krishna, that's surrender. Now we are all in the clutches of Maya, like how the Gajendra is in the clutches of crocodile. They're all in that clutches of Maya, thinking we are this body, I'm this, I have to do this, I have so many things to do. All these things. But once we start surrendering to Krishna, surrendering will not happen one day. One night, suddenly we'll wake up and we'll tell, oh, I'm surrendering to Krishna, hands up. That doesn't happen. We need to build Shraddha. We need to build Shraddha and then we should get to Purna Shraddha. That's surrender. And then what happens? Then you can leave everything. That Krishna will, if you're doing any activity that's sinful also, Krishna will deliver all your sinful activities. Whatever you did in the past, whatever you're going to do in the future, everything will be vanished. And Krishna is assuring again, do not fear. Do not fear, Arjuna. Do it. Just do it and see what happens. So now Krishna is telling, Ya idam paramam guhyam mad bhaktesha abhidhashyate bhakti mai param krutva mame vaishyati asamshayah. For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed. And at the end, he'll come back to me. So such a pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada, he came in the ship, in the Jaladuta ship, at the age of 70 years for all of us. He's already on the platform of pure devotional service. He don't have to do any of those things what he did, but he did everything only for the suffering humanity. He has lot of compassion for the living entities. By seeing the living entities suffering unnecessarily, not knowing for why they're doing all those things, Prabhupada was feeling so much compassion for these living entities. So he took all the risk. When he's coming to US, when he's coming to America, he had 2 heart attacks in the ship because of so many things. Because yeah, and Krishna, he wrote in his diary, and he wrote some prayers also, very wonderful prayers that Prabhupada writes when he's coming to America. He says, Krishna, whatever you wants to do with me, you can do with me. I'm just a puppet in your hands. Whether you want to make me dance, I'll dance. Whatever you want me to do, you can do. You are my master. You are my master. I'm your servant. You can do whatever you want to do with me. That is surrender. That is surrender. And the devotees, they'll show by example. They won't say some flowery words. They'll show by example. So he created 108 temples, so many gurukuls. Now we have 1,000 temples all around the world. I think 1,600 temples all around the world. So and it's all by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. He's He's the Jagat Guru. He's a Jagat Guru of this of the golden age of the Kali Yuga. Of the next 10,000 years is called the golden age, because till the 10,000 years we'll have the scriptures, we'll have the devotees around all of us. So we should make best use of this opportunity. Otherwise, later it's the Kali Yuga. It's going to be horrible, unimaginable. So there is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. So Krishna is, if we share this knowledge, we'll become very dear to Krishna. So I declare that, and I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation of ours worship me by his intelligence, and one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reactions and attain auspicious planets where the pious dwell. So what Arjuna is telling now, after Krishna completed his Bhagavad Gita. Now Arjuna is replying what after whole Bhagavad Gita, after Krishna is telling everything, then Arjuna is replying now. Arjuna is telling, my dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now free from doubt, and I am prepared to act according to your instructions. Karishye vachanam tava. I'm ready. So we should also hear Bhagavad Gita. We should also have the same mood as how Arjuna is having. Now Arjuna is surrendering to Krishna. Karishye vachanam tava. Krishna, whatever you want me to do, I'll do. Prabhupada was also having the same mood. Krishna, whatever you want to do, you can do with me. That's the mood. After hearing whole Bhagavad Gita, that should be the mood. So now the whole Bhagavad, after finishing this, then this is the shloka that Sanjaya finishes. Now there is a conversation between Sanjaya and Dhritarashtra, right? You remember? The story is told between Sanjaya and Dhritarashtra. Now Sanjaya is telling to Dhritarashtra what's happening in the battlefield, right? You all remember, right? In the first chapter, yes. So now Sanjaya, with Sanjaya's, this is the final shloka of Bhagavad Gita. This Sanjaya will finish the Bhagavad Gita. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanuddaraha, Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruvani Tirmatir Mama. Vihan, you want to chant this, please?
Yatra Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanuddaraha, Tatashi Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruva Nitir Matir Maha.
Thank you, Vihan. Udyat, you want to chant?
Yes, Mataji. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdara, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama.
Tanya, you want to chant, please?
Krishno yatha partho dhanurdhara tatra sir vijayur dhurva nitir matir mama.
Soham, please.
Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Partho Dhyanurdhara Tatra Sri Vijaro Bhuti Dhru Nitarmatir Mama.
Yeah, Priya Mataji, you want to try?
Yeah. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Tatra Strir Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanuddaraha, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruvani Tirmatir Mama. So wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also be certainly opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. So Sanjay is concluding with this. So wherever there is Krishna and Arjuna, wherever there is Bhagavad Gita, it's not just having the book, it's about the knowledge, knowing what's there in the Bhagavad Gita. That gives opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality in everyone. Right? So the takeaway messages from Bhagavad Gita as it is, we are all spirit souls. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Devotional service is the best process to attain perfection. So the process of chanting of holy name of the Lord is always superbly effective, but it's especially effective in this age of Kali. This is in the Kali Yuga, the people are short-lived. Prayan alpayusho shabda kalosmin yuge janaha manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya upadrita. These people are short-lived. Manda, unfortunate. Sumanda Matayo, short-lived, unfortunate. What else? Manda, Sumanda, Matayo, Manda Bhagya, dull-headed. So these are the symptoms of the people who are in Kali Yuga. For them, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This chanting process is the only means to get to the spiritual realization. So by simply chanting, simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, one revives his original relationship with God. Every living being is anxious for full freedom because that is his transcendental nature, and this freedom is obtained only by the transcendental service of the Lord. We must accept Bhagavad Gita without interpretation, without deletion, and without our own whimsical participation in the matter. So happiness is when what you think and say is what you do are in harmony. So what you think, you say, and you do are in harmony. That's happiness. And we read this before also. Mahatma Gandhi reads Bhagavad Gita. So it's Steve Jobs. So he says that he used to walk the 7 miles across the town every Sunday night to get the good meal a week at the Hare Krishna temple. So this is during the Sunday feast. Does anyone go to Sunday feast of ISKCON? Udit and Vihan, you both goes, right? Tanya and Soham, you? To the Sunday feast?
Sunday feast?
Yeah. Sunday feast is like the love feast that generally in ISKCON there may be some other days also. It depends on different ISKCON temples. But every week we'll have a feast, right? At the temples.
I
You
don't
should
know.
check it out. You should check it out. It's a nice vegetarian feast.
Okay.
Yes, every Sunday. I think it's every Sunday. For us in Kansas City also, it's every Sunday at 4 p.m. 4 to 6. And wonderful feast. I think 11 course meal. Such a wonderful thing. We can't even imagine that people can make such nice dishes. So that's the beauty. The devotees are wonderful. So, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. We should offer flower, fruit, leaf, or water also to Krishna with bhakti, with devotion. So Krishna is God. He's Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's a person. He's a Shama Sundar form. And Krishna is Satchitananda. Soham, your favorite shloka, Soham? Go ahead.
I think okay, Bhoktaram Yatam Sarva Lokam Vaishvam Suidam Sarva Bhutanam Natam Amshanti Meshati.
Haribol. So Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. Krishna is the supreme controller. Krishna is our well-wishing friend. Right? We acknowledge our Siksha, one of our Siksha Gurus, His Grace Namanishta Prabhu, the president of ISKCON Mangaluru, and His Grace, her Grace, Aishwarya Shubhadra Devidas Mataji. She's the language leader, and His Grace, Karunamaya Nimai Das Prabhu, and Shubham Mathur Prabhu. These are the references. Okay. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patithanam bhavamubhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnavindu ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna everyone. We have another effect today. Is it nice? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare
Priya
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare. Hari Bol.